Good morning, Danielle. How are you? Waiting for YouTube to come up. Good morning, Bonnie. Good to see you. If you would please go ahead and share and retweet. We'll get started just a second. Hello from DLive for a bit today. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Bill. Good to see you. I'm good, Danielle. At least I am for now. Are you close to the fires? No. It's in Northern California. I'm in Southern. All right. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll wait for some other people to come in, but while we're waiting, we go to Proverbs chapter 8. Does not wisdom cry out and understanding lift up her voice? She takes her stand on the top of the high hill beside the way where the paths meet. She cries out by the gates at the entry of the city, at the entrance of the doors. To you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. O you simple ones, understand prudence, and you fools, be of an understanding heart. Listen, for I will speak of excellent things, and from the opening of my lips will come right things. For my mouth will speak truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. Amen. Amen. It should be an abomination to everybody's lives. You're close to the fires, Bonnie. Air quality is awful. Good morning, Linda. Good to see you. Sissy, good morning. Good morning, Paula. Yeah, it's really horrible with that smoke. I've been in smoke a lot when we had the fires here years ago. It was horrible with the fires. And then we went on vacation and there were fires there too. And it's very hard to breathe, very hard to see. It just, you couldn't even see the sky where we were. And I'm sure that's where you are, Bonnie. Stay safe. The fires are what they are. It happens every year. Happens a lot because the governor won't do anything about it. Prayers for Tennessee kids at school. Yeah, Pastor Leo, there was something that just happened in Tennessee. There was some breaking news in Tennessee. Let me see if I can. There's an emergency situation that prompted an evacuation at a Tennessee high school. They are evacuated from Volunteer High School in Northeast Tennessee after an emergency situation. And it said that the students were being evacuated to the National Guard Armory where they're going to be reunited with their parents. So I have no idea. Hey, Ken, no idea what's going on, and they're not giving out too much information. So pray for those children and that everything is okay. I guess they're just going back to school. I guess a lot of people don't want them to go back to school. And maybe that's why. Hey, Robin, on her way to Cumberland Falls. Oh, nice. Have a great time. So yes, please pray for those in Tennessee and the kids, and elsewhere. The kids are going back to school. Good morning, Stephanie. Pray for them that they will be okay, and that the mask mandates won't be in effect where they're going to school. But again, that was Volunteer High School in Northeast Tennessee. And I don't know if they're still on lockdown or not, but, pray for them. All right. So before we get started, I want to bring in a little levity into what we're doing. Let me just show you this. If you want to volunteer for something like this, you can. This was a teacher who wanted to prove that a bull in a square full of people does not attack anyone if it is not threatened. So if you want to go ahead and be the volunteer, Sissy said, I just got notification that the emergency in Hawkins County, Tennessee has been lifted. Still do not know the reason for the lockdown. Yeah, they weren't being very forthcoming about that. All right, so here you go. Volunteer if you want at your own risk. Let me start this for you. You might be asking yourself, what parent, after they found out that their kid was standing there with a bull running at them, trusting that the teacher was correct, what parent would allow their kid to go back to that school? I tell you, that's crazy. Okay, so now this is the reason that you should always pay attention to what you are doing. Get this started for you. Always pay attention, or else this could happen to you. I mean, that's pretty scary. Let's see this again. She wants to get her food. Gotta get my food out of here.
Orang ngeh ya.
And of course, these people are just laughing their heads off. But anyway, and then also that age-old question, who will win the race? I think we have our answer, and here it goes. So there we go. Yay for the tortoise. The tortoise always wins a race. Hey, Diana. Oh, gosh. Good morning. How are you? So there you go. Anybody ever wants to ask you that question, who wins? It's always the one that's slow and steady wins a race. Okay, so today, as you know, this is the day. I mean, put the link up here for you, and this is the day for the 3 days of events that are going to take place. And there you see it. Let me put for you the link where you can go to if you'd like to watch for the next 3 days of what is going on. Good morning, Cheryl. All right, so let's see. Let me stop this 1 second. Sissy said another notification came through. Active shooter, no suspect has been found, and no injuries. And also too, hey, Carmen. Also, too, just know that typically when you have an event that's going on, like the one that's going to go on for 3 days, it's not surprising if you see certain things begin to happen, and that's called a distraction, right? So I'm not saying it will. I'm not saying that that's what that is happening in Tennessee is, but I'm just saying be on guard that there could be distractions coming your way for these next 3 days. Now, this morning I went over to that link that I gave you, and yeah, it looked like he had been hacked again. Danielle said, when I went to it this morning, I couldn't get on. There was, it said server couldn't be found. And then there were people sitting around talking at the location with no sound. I'm surprised, knowing that they had been hacked before, that they wouldn't be prepared for something like that to happen again. Of course, they're going to hack him again if they can. Hey, Irene, good to see you. So that appears to be what may have gone on, And don't forget about the significance of tomorrow and what this means. This tomorrow is Walkout Wednesday. No forced, you know what? And I am not an experiment. So this is to take place at 12 o'clock, any time zone that you're in. They want the people, the employees, to walk out of their jobs in a peaceful protest. People know that they are not going to take the thing. Good morning, Kathy McPherson. It's good to see you again. And so, again, if you're not working, you could go and be there in support of the people who are when they walk out at that time. And again, it's very peaceful. And that's it. All right. Now, I want to show you something, a little something that no doubt your money is paying for, because those people who are currently in power want you to want to encourage all the young people to go out and get the thing. James said, I work from home. Can I just go outside? No, you can't. You have to stay inside the whole time. You can never go outside again. All right. So this is a way to reach all of the young people. And so this is what was put together with the help of the White House in order to do that. So let me roll that for you. I'm sure you'll enjoy this immensely.
One sec. Democracy's calling. See you, Daddy. Bye.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and this is a day in my life as a White House intern.
We did a joke. Hey, everyone. Vogue.
Usually I start off with a big coffee. Sorry, they're like really strict in here.
Hey, Jenny. I booked you a nail appointment, love.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to do that.
It's called Initiative. Hi, White House. This is Cooper. I don't think so. Oh, doesn't matter.
This is actually the entrance to the West Wing. This is so fun, and it's really prestigious.
Hey, POTUS. Is Olivia Rodrigo still here?
No. We've come a long way in our fight against this virus. We've vaccinated 160 million Americans. Are you getting this all down?
Don't worry, Queen. It's all right here.
Cooper.
Sorry, Miss Jen. And Jen, don't forget to have fun. Spirit fingers, Mama.
We need to get shots in the arms of every single American.
I'm heading to a haircut.
Comment if you want me to make more of these.
Oh yeah, could you make about 1,000 more so that we can all see them? Good morning, Debbie Treadway. Good to see you. Hey, Paula. What did you just see? Something that you can't unsee, Ken, unfortunately. Barbara said, my boss said I do not have to take it. I like her. Good for her. Yeah. Yeah, it would be funny if it weren't for the purpose it was made for, Danielle. And then it's not so much funny anymore. Because what they want to do, this guy is kind of, let's say, different. And they think he has a lot of followers on YouTube and all that. So if they can get him to come in and tell your kids and your teenagers that they need to get the thing, then this is going to be very successful for them. So that's what that is. And in that regard, it's not so funny. All right. So we also know today that Marjorie Taylor Greene's account has been suspended for 1 week, according to the twits, after it was labeled by them as a post she made as misinformation about the virus. So you won't be seeing her, I guess, for a week, at least not on Twitter. All right. That was scary, Kathy said. Yeah. Yeah, he's a TikTok sensation. Barbara, I'm sure he is. Totally ridiculous. It makes no sense. Well, see, that's, Irene, have you noticed that the way that we talk to young people and the things that they like, because this is how they like them and how they get information, hasn't made much sense for a very long time. It's kind of odd. Everything about it is kind of odd and different, and what keeps their attention is odd and different. And we just keep allowing it to be odd and different, nobody changes it. So that's how our young people kind of relate. And it has to be short because their attention span is about, 2 seconds. And it's unfortunate. All right. So I have put a link up for you. Listen, if you do nothing else today, go copy and paste that link, go and watch it and share it with everybody you know, especially those people who are sitting on the fence and undecided about what they should do. This breaks it down in simplistic terms about the thing, okay? And it is so, so good. So again, it's on Rumble. I just put the link there for you. Please go watch it today. Please share it with everyone. You probably can't post it. Diana said, very good link. Wasn't it, Diana? I mean, seriously, a good link with information that is concise. It's short, but not so short that it's just for, one group of individuals that can't keep an attention span. But it's illustrated, with kind of like, not cartoons, but drawings or whatever. And it's really, really, really good. It's the best one that I've seen outside of the doctors talking about it. And it puts it all together. Sissy said, yes, very good information. Absolutely. I watched it when my daughter sent it to me yesterday. Good, Debbie. And that's from where I got it, was the Rumble account of Pastor Tim Thompson. And he runs the Hour Watch with Tim Thompson. So I don't know who put it together. I don't know where they got it or whatever, but it is excellent. And we've, those that have done a lot of research know that it's very much accurate and truthful. And I really, really liked it. But unless you see it, you can't send it to anybody. And I would send it in email, because if you put it in different platforms, you'll of course it'll get taken down, and you'll get taken down too. So as we go through things, as we get closer to what used to be called flu season, hey, Renee, we don't have flu anymore, but when we had flu and it was flu season, you're going to start hearing a lot. And I've seen them over the last few days get a lot of tragic stories. And they are tragic. Trust me, they're tragic. They're horrible. I feel for the people whose families they left behind. It's awful. But just know that you need to kind of look at things with a grain of salt. For example, this story, tragic story. This virus doesn't care. Mother mourns the death of daughter who refused to get the thing. Now you're looking at it and you're just thinking, oh my gosh, this poor woman, look at her. She looks young. She looks healthy. She has a young daughter. Tragic story. It's not until you get down to about the 5th paragraph that the woman says that her daughter was diabetic and her health quickly went downhill after being infected last month. She had to be put on a ventilator and believes that she lost her fight to the new variant. The thing of it is that you'll never know, because these are being pushed by those people who have one agenda in mind, and that's to get you the thing. You'll never know, was she offered anything else when she went into the hospital? I have a friend who has a relative right now in a hospital. And from what she has told me, when the relative went in, she had symptoms of the virus and tested positive for it. And she's been in the hospital for about 3 weeks, not receiving, from my knowledge of the case, not receiving any of the medications that might have helped along the way, right? And so now, recently, when her husband wanted to ask for a certain medicine to be given to her, they kept putting him off, put her then on a ventilator, and things aren't looking good now. So again, tragic stories that we're going to hear more of. You have to know to ask. Barbara said, yeah, that's true. And even when you do ask, Barbara, they may not go along with it, because it took the husband a long time to get them to try it. And then it was basically, by that time, it was probably too late. She was too weak. I pray to God for a miracle for her. And there's always hope as long as somebody is still breathing, you know. Stephanie said, this makes me so angry. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to just kind of not look the other way, but just kind of, you know, take a deep breath, because I mean, you could hear so many stories like this that are so just devastating, horrific, frustrating, that the hospitals aren't following what other doctors have recommended that they do, not utilizing medications that we have. James said the mainstream media doesn't cover deaths by car accidents. We don't lower the speed limits to 20. There's a risk in life and we keep moving. Yeah. But, you know, James, as you know, when there's an agenda behind it, I mean, all we're going to hear about here's what we're hearing about now, and it's going to even get worse. Okay. We're going to hear about these people who were young and vibrant and healthy, but gosh, they refused to go get it. And now they are dead. If you go to that link that I gave you on Rumble, you will see how much BS all of that is. It doesn't mean that people aren't dying. They are. It doesn't mean that the virus isn't real. It is. But what they're not telling you is that most of the people that are dying have underlying health conditions that go along with it, that possibly would be dying with the flu that they might get. And maybe they have the flu, you know, who knows? Because I haven't seen one case of flu yet in over a year. So I don't know. But we're also going to have a ramping up of climate disasters, heat rising, drought everywhere, fires everywhere. Hey, Sally. And the thing with that, especially in California, there are fires every year. There are fires every year because this governor refuses to allow people to go out and clean up the forests and other places where the fires start every year. You know, why is that? Some are set, some are, you know, caused by power lines and things of that nature. But, you know, when you don't go out and when you don't clean up all the dead twigs and all that other stuff, you're going to get a fire. It's always hot in California this time of year, especially inland. When I was going to law school in Sacramento, one year, when I was driving home, it was 116 degrees. And now they act like, oh my gosh, look, it's getting to be over 100 in California. Yeah, it happens. And that was back in the 80s when I went to law school. Come on. Robin said they haven't even isolated this virus. Yeah. Yes, deforestation is necessary. It is, Debbie. And how many California fires are arson? Yeah. I mean, James, every single year we have the same thing, the same talk. And I think the governor now is kind of looking at it going, well, maybe we should. Of course, he's getting recalled. So now he's all into, well, let's go ahead and look at things and maybe we should fix things. So a little bit too late, but anyway. And so again, I think one of the things, and some of the pastors are even talking about this, that one of the things that they may try to shut us down on is the climate and how we've got to do something now about the climate and how we're getting food shortages. You know, I don't know about you, but a lot of ways to control people, let's say, not that anybody would want to do that, but is to control the food and control the water. Wayne said, on ventilator, you die. Pretty much, Wayne, pretty much. Barbara said, I remember driving to California a long time ago. It was so hot, you drove the water bottle in front of the car to keep checking your water. See, the thing of it is, in California, if you go out to the desert, it's called Needles, California. I mean, it can get 120 degrees, no problem. Let me see if I can find out what the temperature is now. It's probably a little, you know, it's still more. Oh, it's 95 already. Their high, supposedly for Saturday, is 112. So it's 104 today, 106 tomorrow, 109, 113, 112, 110. It's always in the 100. And that's kind of low temperatures right now for Needles, California. So they're trying to make you think that, oh my God, this is horrible. We've never seen this before. We've never seen this many fires. It's ruining the climate. It's all for the Great Reset. It's all for the NWO. It just is. We're being treated like the lepers in ancient times. Yes, James. Isn't it funny how it kind of parallels what the Bible says? And Robin said that's normal. Yeah, that's the norm. That is the norm in Needles, California, and and other desert areas in California. Stephanie said we drive through Needles at 1:30 in the morning one year and temperature was 112. Let me just tell you something, Stephanie. Years ago when I was a teenager, or maybe early 20s, only a couple of years ago, I had a Volkswagen car, little Volkswagen Bug, right? No air conditioning. This was probably in the 70s, I'm guessing. I can't even remember. And driving through, somebody else was driving. I was driving with them. And we were going through Needles at probably 1 o'clock in the morning. And it was so hot. I had a dog with me who's no longer with me. Unfortunately passed away. But I didn't want my dog to overheat, and I didn't want to overheat because I get heat stroke, and I was really concerned about that. So I bought a bag of ice, put a towel over it, put my dog on top of the ice bag, and let him lay on that. And I put my feet on the ice bag, and that's how we went through Needles, California at like 1 in the morning. And it must have been, I don't even know, 118, maybe something like that. It was just horrible. Somebody said they can't control the climate. Yeah, but they're going to try, right? They're going to try in every possible way to give you electric cars as if that electricity runs off of air. And it doesn't really run off of solar, not most of the time. So it's craziness, but we're going to see that. And things are going to really start ramping up. If you are a reader of the Bible, you are seeing that this is going right along with what the Bible indicates is going to happen. All right. Now, they've come up with a new way to try and force you into taking the thing. And this should stay away from anything called needles. Exactly, Stephanie. Good point. And some EV charging stations, electric vehicle charging stations run off of diesel generators. Yeah. Ugh. All right. Coming soon, for those who just aren't willing to go along to get along, some employers are going to start withholding $50 a month from your paycheck from your employer. So here's what I want to know. So they claim, well, we're going to do that because we need to, because some people are going to end up in the hospital or whatever. When are they going to start going, okay, well, you're Asian, and because you're Asian and X, Y, and Z occurs, we're going to start withholding $50 a month for you. And how about, let's see, you Black people, you do X, Y, and Z. So we're going to withhold, $50 a month from your paycheck too. And you white people, you do X, Y, and Z. So we're going to withhold $50. This is discrimination is what it's called. It's discrimination. And you can say, and they can say, it's just because, if you get sick, we need this money. Well, really? What about people in age groups between, let's say 12 years old, because now it gets younger and younger, 12 to 45 for childbearing ages? We're going to start withholding money because you're going to be taking more money out of our pockets that we have to pay for your birth control, for your, for your having your babies and things like that, right? And how about people who, let's say, want to transition? Should we start withholding $50 a month from them? See, all of this is total discrimination, totally to make you do something that it has been for your entire life voluntary up until now, right? They're calling it a special surcharge. And let's see, they've offered gift cards, a day off from work, cash, and other financial incentives, and they just can't convince their workers to go get it. So now let's try punishment, right? So this is what they call, the first was the carrot approach, and then this is the stick. So we're going to start charging you. According to Mercer, the employee benefits consultancy that works with thousands of employers around the world, employers have tried encouraging employees through offering unpaid time off, etc. But with this variant driving up infectionizations at the same time that the thing rates have stalled, we have received inquiries from at least 20 employers over the past few weeks who are giving consideration to adding health coverage surcharges to those people who, again, won't do what they want them to do. So as you can see right here, a reading right there, that's what that says. Now, let's see. Sally said people are going to have to sue these totalitarians. Yes. What happened to employment laws? You can't withhold someone's earnings. Well, I mean, it depends on who's in charge, I guess. Pine Needles, North Carolina is beautiful. And yeah, been to different places in North Carolina with that name that certainly weren't hot. Okay. Now, in case you want to, I don't know, because if you want to be a guinea pig, I have a good thing for you to sign up for. And oh, by the way, we are past the halfway point. If you would please go ahead and share this, that would be great. Retweet it. That would be great. Sissy said, I guess they will try to start taking out of our Social Security and retirement fund also, or just taking your 401ks before you retire. Sally said, file charges through the EEOC. Yeah, I mean, people are going to have to start going and seeing an attorney. That's what they're going to have to do. And maybe class action cases are going to have to come. That's what we need to do. But in case you want to be a guinea pig this week for whatever reason, Kaiser Permanente is seeking those people without the thing so they will volunteer for a booster trial. Oh, isn't that exciting? So they're looking for people who haven't gotten it in Seattle to volunteer for a national clinical trial to explore the benefits of mixing different types of vaccines. So in other words, if you have a hankering for becoming a guinea pig, throw your hat in on this one and put your hat in the ring because you've got a chance here. The study is looking to enroll approximately 400 people, and will assess the use of different boosters that may or may not match the type of thing that the participants received earlier. So in case you went and you got a P vaccine before or an M vaccine before, this time we could just go mix and match. It's kind of like, clothes, just mix and match. What about smokers? What about them, Wayne? So anyway, they're saying the trial is funded by the NIH. Oh my gosh, wait a minute. Who do we know that works for the NIH? Da, 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 da. Oh, I know. Dr. Fo Cha-Ching. Okay, so, and this is scheduled to go through 2025. So if you live in the Seattle area and 18 years old and older and have not gotten your thing yet, go on down there, run, and become a guinea pig today. Can't wait to see the results of that one. But I'm sure we'll never see those results. Okay, so what are some people doing? Well, we've heard about France. We've heard about Italy. France, tens of thousands of people have marched and said no. In Italy, people have burned their cards and said no. In Michigan, about 800 people protested the thing for Michigan. 800, so glad those people came out, but we're going to need more than 800, right? So in a call for residents to push back against the government's increasing intrusive health policies and protect Americans' rights during the, quote unquote plan, the group called Stand Up Michigan encouraged the audience to let their voices be heard through nonviolent civil disobedience. Again, that is a great thing that they're out there and using their First Amendment rights. But it's going to take more than 800 people. It's going to take more than 800 people. Now, in the rules for me, but rules for thee, I should say, but not for me. This is, after the Obama bash, the birthday bash that lasted 3 days. Here we have, oh, wait, who do we have here? Oh, this is a congressperson. Oh, look, what is she doing? Where's her? Oh, wait a minute. She's not wearing a veil. Huh. And social distancing. No, but she can wait. Love that. Love that call. She's calling out. So let's start this over. Let's see what she's doing. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she lovely? So there you go. Rules for thee, but not for me. I don't have to wear a veil. I don't have to social distance. I can be around as many people as I want to. But you, nah, not so much. It costs more for their health care, Wayne said. Yeah. So there she is, out just dancing and having a good time because she's at a wedding with so many people. Isn't that great? See, I have no problems with her being there, but she would have a problem with me being there. I have no problems with what Obama did, and I don't care if he wanted to invite 2,000 people, although they're saying now that the Jewish people that he had invited previously got uninvited, but the other people that he had invited, they still got to go. So anyway, if he wants a 3-day bash and he wants to pay for it and all that, I don't care. Sally said 48% of the people in Tennessee have had one of the badges. A totally badge is less than 40. If we would all boycott the businesses doing this here, it would hurt them. Couldn't get 500 people. Yeah, when the thing happened in 2020. Nope. All right, and I want to give you a little message from Rand Paul. It'll last just a minute, but I think it's an important message that I want you to see. And let me bring it up for you. All right. And a roll tape. Here we go.
It's time for us to resist. They can't arrest all of us. They can't keep all of your kids home from school. They can't keep every government building closed, although I've got a long list of ones they might keep closed or might ought to keep closed. We don't have to accept the mandates, lockdowns, and harmful policies of the petty tyrants and bureaucrats. We can simply say no, not again. Nancy Pelosi, you will not arrest or stop me or anyone on my staff from doing our jobs. We have either had COVID, had the vaccine, or been offered the vaccine. We will make our own health choices. We will not show you a passport. We will not wear a mask. We will not be forced into random screenings and testings so you can continue your drunk with power reign over the Capitol. President Biden, we will not accept your agency's mandates or your reported moves towards a lockdown. No one should follow the CDC's anti-science mask mandates. And if you want to shut down federal agencies again, some of which aren't even back to work yet, I will stop every bill coming through the Senate with an amendment to cut their funding if they don't come back to work in person. Local bureaucrats and union bosses, we will not allow you to do more harm to our children again this year. Children are not at any more risk from COVID than they are from the seasonal flu. Every adult who works in schools has either had the vaccine or had their chance to get vaccinated. There is no reason for mask mandates, part-time schools, or any lockdown measures. Children are falling behind in school and are being harmed physically and psychologically by the tactics that you have used to keep them from the classroom during the last year. We won't allow it again. If a school system attempts to keep children from full-time in-person school, I will hold up every bill with 2 amendments, one to defund them and another to allow parents the choice of where the money goes for their child's education. Do I sound fed up to you? That's because I am. I'm not a career politician. I practiced medicine for 33 years. I graduated from Duke Medical School. I've worked in emergency rooms. I've studied immunology and virology, and I ultimately chose to become an eye surgeon. I've been telling everyone for a year now that Dr. Fauci and other public health bureaucrats were not following the science, and I've been proven right time and time again. But I'm not the only one who's fed up. I can't go anywhere these days without people coming up and thanking me for standing up for them, whether I'm at work or at events in Kentucky, at airports, in restaurants, or in stores. People thank me for taking a stand. They thank me for standing up for actual science, for standing up for freedom, for standing against mandates, lockdowns, and bureaucratic power grabs. I think the tide is turning as more and more people are willing to stand up. I see stories from across the country of parents standing up to the unions and school boards. I see brave moms standing up and saying, my kids need to go back to school in person. I see members of Congress refusing to comply with petty tyrant Pelosi. We are at a moment of truth and a crossroads. Will we allow these people to use fear and propaganda to do further harm to our society, economy, and children? Or will we stand together and say, absolutely not. Not this time. I choose freedom.
So there you go. I think that was really, really good. And how shameful is it that a congressperson has to tell you to resist, stand up, they can't arrest all of us? Now, does that not tell you where we are? Sally said, I'm glad he is, but still mad at all of them that certified the thing. We wouldn't be here if they would not have done this. We called and wrote emails. Yep. Debbie said, yes, very good. Robin said, can't stand Mitch. Yeah, Mitch needs to, gosh, I don't know why Kentucky can't get rid of him. All right. So here is a little information from Florida. This is really good. Bring this up for you. In Florida, this is DeSantis. His office released a statement that the Education Florida would withhold the salaries of superintendents and school boards who implement the veil mandates, that they could withhold the salary. So if they want to, they certainly can, because he's given their permission. Now, here's another thing. Now, when we talked about things that are going to be in the news, what you're going to see is how horrible Florida is and what horrible damage that Florida has done to those people who are fighting the virus. Look at this. But keep in mind, the number of cases that the CDC released to Florida today is incorrect. They combined multiple days into one. Oh, I'm sure that was absolutely unintentional. Said, we anticipate the CDC will correct the record. Don't hold your breath. And so Florida reported a record-breaking 28,317 new cases of the virus for Sunday, which isn't true. There you go. Florida's fine. I live there, James said. Excellent speech, Kathy said about Rand Paul. Yeah. So again, anything that you see about Florida coming up, you need to second guess it, look at it twice, research it, on and on and on. Now, I never thought that I would say this, but look at what this rapper said and see if you agree with this rapper. He said, we've witnessed the birth of a new secular religion. The virus is the devil. Government is God. Scientists and experts are high priests. The veils are magical talismans. The thing is baptism. Challenging the dogma is blasphemy. Thou shalt follow the science or be punished. The true branch Covidians are predictably outraged by this tweet. It is science, and you're not a doctor, they scream. And he said, laughing my butt off. So there you go. I mean, who knew that a rapper got it? Stephanie said, well, Biden has imported thousands of cases and busted them into swing states. Yes, he has. I'm sure that was just a coincidence, right? All right. We are going to go into our Bible reading. And let me try to enlarge this on the screen like I did yesterday. So bear with me. Bring it up here. There we go. 1 second. We are in Exodus chapter 19 for those who like to follow along and still remain in the room instead of running. Okay. In the third, after the children of Israel had gone out of the land of Egypt on the same day, they came to the wilderness of Sinai. For they had departed from Rephidim, had come to the wilderness of Sinai, and camped in the wilderness. So Israel camped there before the mountain. And Moses went up to God, and the Lord called to him from the mountain, saying, thus you shall say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, you have seen what I did to the Egyptians, and how I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now, therefore, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be a special treasure to me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which you shall speak to the children of Israel. So Moses came and called for the elders of the people and laid before them all these words which the Lord commanded him. Then all the people answered together and said, all that the Lord has spoken, we will do. So Moses brought back the words of the people to the Lord. And the Lord said to Moses, behold, I come to you in the thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with you and believe you forever. So Moses told the words of the people to the Lord. Then the Lord said to Moses, go to the people and consecrate them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and let them be ready for the third day. For on the third day, the Lord will come down upon Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people. You shall set bounds for the people all around, saying, take heed to yourselves that you do not go up to the mountain or touch its base. Whoever touches the mountain shall surely be put to death. Not a hand shall touch him, but he shall surely be stoned or shot with an arrow. Whether man or beast, he shall not live. When the trumpet sounds long, they shall come near the mountain. So Moses went down from the mountain to the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said, hold on 1 second. And he said to the people, be ready for the third day. Do not come near your wives. Then it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunderings and lightnings and a thick cloud on the mountain, and the sound of the trumpet was very loud, so that all the people who were in the camp trembled. And Moses brought the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. Now Mount Sinai was completely in smoke, because the Lord descended upon it in fire. Its smoke ascended like the smoke of a furnace. The whole mountain quaked greatly. And when the blast of the trumpet sounded long and became louder and louder, Moses spoke, and God answered him by voice. Then the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mountain. And the Lord called Moses to the top of the mountain. Moses went up. And the Lord said to Moses, go down and warn the people, lest they break through to gaze at the Lord, and many of them perish. Also let the priests who come near the Lord consecrate themselves, lest the Lord break out against them. But Moses said to the Lord, the people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for you warned us, saying, set bounds around the mountain and consecrate it. Then the Lord said to him, away, get down and then come up, you and Aaron with you. But do not let the priests and the people break through to come up to the Lord, lest he break out against them. So Moses went down to the people and spoke to them. So second, have to go to the next page. Chapter 20. See you on Thursday, Robin. Take care. And God spoke all these words, saying, I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands, to those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take the name of the Lord God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work, you nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his male servant, nor his female servant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is your neighbor's. Now all the people witnessed the thunderings, the lightning flashes, the sound of the trumpet, and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they trembled and stood afar off. Then they said to Moses, "You speak with us, and we will hear, but let not God speak with us, lest we die." And Moses said to the people, "Do not fear, for God has come to test you, and that his fear may be before you, so may not sin." So the people stood afar off, but Moses drew near the thick darkness where God was. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Thus you shall say to the children of Israel, you have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. You shall not make anything to be with me, gods of silver or gods of gold. You shall not make for yourselves. An altar of earth you shall make for me, and you shall sacrifice on it your burnt offerings and your peace offerings, your sheep and your oxen. In every place where I record my name, I will come to you, and I will bless you. And if you make me an altar of stone, you shall not build it of hewn stone, for if you use your tool on it, you have profaned it. Nor shall you go up by steps to my altar, that your nakedness may not be exposed on it." Exodus 21. Now these are the judgments which you shall set before them. If you buy a Hebrew servant, he shall serve 6 years, and in the 7th year he shall go out free and pay nothing. If he comes in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he comes in married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master has given him a wife, and she has borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. But if the servant plainly says, "I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free," then his master shall bring him to the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or to the doorpost, and his master shall pierce his ear with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. And if a man sells his daughter to a female slave, she shall not go out of his male slave's due. If she does not please her master, who has betrothed her to himself, then he shall let her be redeemed. He shall have no right to sell her to a foreign people, since he has dealt deceitfully with her. And if he has betrothed her to his son, he shall deal with her according to the custom of daughters. If he takes another wife, he shall not diminish her food, her clothing, and her marriage rights. And if he does not do these 3 for her, then she shall go out free without paying money. He who strikes a man so that he dies shall surely be put to death. However, if he did not lie in wait, but God delivered him into his hand, then I will appoint for you a place where he may flee. But if a man acts with premeditation against his neighbor to kill him by treachery, you shall take him from my altar that he may die. And he who strikes his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. He who kidnaps a man and sells him, or is found in his hand, shall surely be put to death. And he who curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. If men contend with each other, one strikes the other with a stone or with his fist, and he does not die but is confined to his bed, if he rises again and walks outside with his servant, then he who struck him shall be acquitted. He shall only pay for the loss of his time, and shall provide for him to be fully healed. And if a man beats his male or female servant with a rod so that he dies under his hand, he shall surely be punished. Notwithstanding, if he remains alive a day or 2, he shall not be punished, for he is his property. If men fight and hurt a woman with child so that she gives birth prematurely, yet no harm follows, he shall surely be punished accordingly as the woman's husband imposes on him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. But if any harm follows, then you shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. If a man strikes the eye of his male or female servant and destroys it, he shall let him go free for the sake of his eye. And if he knocks out the tooth of his male or female servant, he shall let him go free for the sake of his tooth. If an ox gores a man or a woman to death, then the ox shall surely be stoned, and its flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be acquitted. But if the ox tended to thrust with his horn in times past, and has been made known to his owner, and he has not kept it confined so that it has killed a man or woman, the ox shall be stoned, and its owner also shall be put to death. If there is imposed on him a sum of money that he shall pay to redeem his life, whatever is imposed on him, whether it was gored a son or gored a daughter, according to his judgment, it shall be done to him. If the ox gores a male or female servant, he shall give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. And if a man opens a pit, or if a man digs a pit and does not cover it, and an ox or a donkey falls in it, the owner of the pit shall make it good. He shall give money to their owner, but the dead animal shall be his. If one man's ox hurts another so that it dies, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money from it. And the dead ox they shall also divide. Or if it was known that the ox tended to thrust in time past, and his owner has not kept it confined, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead animal shall be his own. All right. We are going to stop right there. You can see from reading or hearing some of this that that basically our laws, this is where a lot of our laws came from. Now, the punishment is not the same, but this is where a lot of our laws come from. This is how, laws were made in the United States. And they're, people today try to say, well, the Bible is nothing. We shouldn't be following the Bible. Bible means nothing. God means nothing, blah, 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 blah. You can see how wrong they are, how our country was founded on Judeo-Christian principle. And that includes the whole Bible. So there you go. All right. So again, that link that I gave you earlier is an absolute must watch. Please watch it. Please give it to anybody that you think needs to hear it, because it is so chocked full of information. It's probably one of the best that I've seen. It's very simply put so that anybody of any education level and almost any age can understand it. And we need to get this information out. All right. So if you will, please go and share this with everyone. Hey, Nick, how are you? Share this with everyone. Retweet this. I will be back on Thursday. God willing, I will not be here tomorrow, as is typical every week. I am out on Wednesday. Hope to see you back here on Thursday. Thank you, Susan. God bless you. Thank you, Renee, and God bless you as well. And I'll play a little bit of music, and then everybody, please share. Again, I'll see you back on Thursday. God